After completing this section, you will be able to explain the comparison between the ETOM and ITIL frameworks and why there is a need to build bridge between the two frameworks. Describe ETOM link with ITIL. Explain how ITIL may be mapped throughout the enterprise. The language used by the ITIL community differs in a number of ways from that of the ETOM community. The comparison can be made in terms of context, objectives and scope. ETOM context is to provide a prescriptive catalog of process element categories and a total enterprise process framework for the telecom industry. In contrast, ITIL is a set of non-prescriptive guidelines for IT telecom service management. ETOM objective is to provide a business process blueprint for service providers to streamline their end-to-end processes. In contrast, ITIL objective is to align IT services with the current and future needs of the business and its customers to improve the quality of IT services delivered. In scope, ETOM has the perspective of the business side of an enterprise whose customers are primarily external. In contrast, ITIL describes the world from the perspective of an organization whose customers are primarily internal. Key reason to build bridges between ETOM and ITIL are: the ITIL and ETOM frameworks have developed separately. Each has value in providing insight and guidance to enterprises. They address overlapping communities of users, with a large common constituency. Both are employed as common references/standards by their users. Unifying their different perspectives into an integrated view offers added value to all. A range of issues have been identified and are being addressed to support this. A technical report TRO 143 with guidance on linkages has been developed and published by TM Forum and ITSMF. The figure shows Level 1 enterprise management processes decomposed into Level 2. A number of the resulting Level 2s are named beginning with ITIL, for example. ITIL change management shown within the strategic and enterprise planning Level 1. There is a fundamental difference between these new ITIL Level 2s and the remainder of the ETOM process elements, and it is central to the mechanism which allows ETOM and ITIL to cooperate. All the 14 ITIL process elements within enterprise management represent good practices. ITIL positions itself as a set of good practices. Specific good practices will be applied in various areas of the business, according to the choice of the user concerned. This results in the need to acknowledge that the ITIL process elements are good practices and are not directly enterprise processes that focus on a specific enterprise area. Note that it is not the intent that ETOM absorbs ITIL in this. These ITIL L2s represent a bridge across to the separate world of ITIL documentation and experience. Only a minimal outline definition is provided within ETOM for each ITIL L2, with a pointer to ITSMF and ITIL for the real detail. Figure shows the 14 ITIL good practice areas that are now represented as ETOM L2 process elements, and indicates how these map into the major ITIL lifecycle areas: service design, service transition and service operation. Please spend some time to go through the mapping. Click Next to continue. For each of the ITIL Level 2 process elements, there is a list of the enterprise process elements that may be influenced by that ITIL area. This provides a basis for the optional use of ITIL. For example, ITIL change management can influences impact many areas of ETOM, and we can see that these extend widely beyond enterprise management. A similar view applies for the other 13 ITIL-L2S, and is documented for each of these within the Business Process Framework documentation for the process decompositions. As ITIL is not a whole enterprise view, which ETOM is, there may be a few areas where ITIL is not involved, and also, individual users may not choose to use ITIL in all possible areas of their business. The figure is a different representation for the ETOM process areas that are influenced by ITIL change management. This ITIL-ETOM map can be extended for the other 13 ITIL processes. Suppose the user decide to use ITIL change management for resource provisioning as guiding mechanism. Then the resource provisioning processes operate in line with this, so that they are then aligned with the ITIL approach. The resource provisioning processes work with ITIL change management to allocate, install, configure, and activate specific resources in support of IT services. All of these involve IT changes that must be managed and coordinated. Business and IT are becoming increasingly codependent within enterprises. So, building ETOM business process flows that deliver ITIL good practice services can successfully address this need and provides a method of supporting the merged environment. ETOM captures the SP business process needs and forms a process model that organizes these. This model can then be used to generate a range of process flows that are compatible with ETOM and which represent viable solutions to the specific business scenarios concerned. ITIL captures IT good practice needs and organizes these into a model of areas of IT service delivery, support, etc. These ITIL good practices are then used to select out which of the possible ETOM flows are in line with these requirements. Based on this, we can deliver a subset of all the possible ETOM flows, which are those that are also in line with ITIL. These business flows deliver ITIL good practice services. This completes the module. Click Next Topic from navigation menu.